Brian, uh, obviously, tough loss against your arch rivals. You got some time to sit on the loss, look at the tape. What are your takes on how things played out?
Yeah, tough loss. I mean, it was tough for them when we went down there and beat them 2-1. Uh, my reflection on the game is we were in control of parts of the game. Give them some credit. That decent performance by them, missing some key players. Not happy that we gave up another, in my opinion, a bad goal. And it starts from the back, you start from the front. I mean, Nuhu going in with his left. It's not how you defend, show him wide. Josh's awareness of Evander, we said it before the game, we said it at halftime. Alex could have fouled Chara on a little play where he dinked it over his head, just fouled him. Jordan didn't back press, let him run right by him. De La Vega trying to do a little too much. It's just one of those plays that you just wish you had a do-over. And then on the flip side, we had some okay chances. Again, I thought the set pieces were okay. I mean, De La Vega, just a little more awareness, maybe just, running forward instead of standing. Jordan had a clean look on a set piece. I think Albert's deliveries have been good. Danny Leva came in and had some good deliveries. Appreciated that. He came in and was good. I think our best chance was when Georgie kind of was fighting to get through things. He lays it back to Raul. Raul doesn't strike it clean. Normally Raul's striking that to far post, but it drops to Jordan, and it's a tap in. But their defender somehow gets a leg in there without fouling Jordan. So frustrating game.
On the defensive end, what was your take on how much you were able to limit them, as much as maybe Timbers was a little bit more cautious or didn't push their right backs as much as they typically do? Did you get any sense of that from Neville?
No, I think they were at home coming out to play. I don't know how much the loss of two significant attacking players played into their tactics, but they were going to try and come out after us.
Was Georgie's performance at all eye-opening in that
We've seen it here.
Sure. He seemed very effective at what he was doing, though.
Yeah. I mean, later stages of that game, the way that game played out, and they were just defending deep and dropping and stuff like that. It was tailor-made for his skill set. So the kid performed very well. Kudos. And it's just unfortunate we couldn't, take one of those good moments and get something out of it.
Ryan, you're at the business end of this whole thing. How do you balance needing results? You've got some players that came on and showed flashes that they could make a difference, and then trying to fly so high. How do you get your best 11, 13 here?
Well, Maz, it's a good question because, when I reflect on my own job as a coach, a while back I stuck with the same group on short rest and it worked out. And then this time I stuck with pretty much the same group on short rest and it didn't work out as well as I planned. Maybe I would have, brought one more fresh set of legs in there. Obed was more kind of injury related. He had some little quad issues. JP was rest, had faith in Josh. De La Vega, was he cooked at halftime? Could I have subbed him at halftime? Yes. Would I have brought Raul on? Yes. But I need De La Vega to collect some more minutes. So over the last 7 games, he can get fit. So those are all decisions I made. I learned from them. I thought it was okay.
And you're not going to call out your team, but are you just trying, how do you get that awareness? You've talked, even the LAFC game, Portland game, just the professional foul or the awareness of maybe slowing down the counter.
We're too nice. We're just too nice. Every other team does it to us. Helps us with the disciplinary points at the end of the year. Tiebreaker. We've been pretty much first or second like the last 4 or 5 years.
Yes.
So do you got to get Preki and Freddie to teach him a little dog in that, you know, be a little
Can't
nasty.
coach that. They have to do that by themselves.
When you came to this game, I was wondering, is there a reason why you've been reluctant to use Raul more as a rotational player rather than a super sub? Is that
No hesitation at all. Just my decision. He's been good when he came on. Yeah.
But to start, is there any sort of lack of trust in him or the depth of your bench, anything like that?
Kind of made a commitment to a group of players that I feel can get us through. And again, I'll reflect on we have one more 3-game week. And you'll see by what I do in that week, he might still get a start.
When is a good day to ask you about Stefan Frei? I ask you every day. 'Cause
He's in concussion protocol. I'm not going to rush him at all.
Sure.
And, you know, he's going to tell you, yeah, I can make it back. But, I mean, there's no reason to risk further injury, more consequential stuff. We take head injuries very seriously. He's got a bunch of stitches above his eye. I mean, I'd be surprised if he makes it through concussion protocol, and I'd be surprised if I made a decision to keep him in the game.
I want to ask you no more.
Another player I wanted to ask you about was Leo. You mentioned some sort of injury, but we didn't feel like he got injured.
In training, the day before, he pulled himself out of our little warm-up, went back in. But, you know, that's a big game, and, you know, he's got to show that he can be durable, too.
But is it trending into the point where maybe it's a coach's decision, with Georgie's acquisition? Is there anything beyond just physical, but maybe...
You can't have 3 wingers on the bench, if that's what you're asking. Leo Chu has to fight it out with all the rest of the good players that we have on the squad.
How would you assess your general feelings on how De La Vega's progress is moving along?
Getting there. Okay, yeah. I'm gonna have some conversations with him. You saw the kid's quality. You know, does he try and do a little bit too much maybe at times because he feels like he has to, you know, help the team? He's been sitting for so long. Yeah, I think that's natural. I think it's, you know, human nature. But he's got good feet, good technical ability. That little give and go combination, Alex, Albert, Josh, Pedro, he does everything right. And then he kicks the ball as hard as he can. You know, a guy blocks it, but, you know, he can maybe hit it in the near post. You know, it's good play. He's going to help us.
Is his fitness, like you mentioned that you thought his legs were maybe spent at halftime. I mean,
and we needed to push him, yes.
Right. And so would you say, like, I don't know, how would you deem your satisfaction with just his fitness level?
Well, how many games has he started recently? So he's building fitness. So that was a pretty intense game. So let's see, he gets another full week of training, and then we'll see what happens against Columbus.
Columbus, obviously, arguably the best team in MLS. Thoughts on facing them? They have some absences, as you do, for international duty.
Yeah. Well, they're missing 5 guys by my report, and, you know, we'll see what they bring. Obviously, Wilfred's done a great job. They're the new kids on the block. We used to be there. We'll get back there. But they're a good team. Solid squad. Like the way they play.
What are your thoughts on Obed getting a call-up?
Love it.
He made the change.
We heard it. We heard that he was training in with the full team today. Not just the 23s. So we're keeping a close eye on it, but it's good for Obed.